the people in it. You know, it's an industry where you can go to any regional and rural town in Australia. You can find highly relatable, authentic people that are a privilege to be around. People you want to spend time with. This is not about their wealth or social status, they're just great humans. And that's what I love most about this industry, is these great humans produce incredible products, you know, in this case beef, that feed so many people that have that wonderful, enjoyable experience. But it's just simple, great humans at the end of the day. And that's what makes me passionate about the industry and about what I do in supporting those people. It's their fundamental integrity about what they do and why they do it. And to be very fair, we actually do often a better job of talking to ourselves and our contemporaries. What we need to do a better job is taking that communication spirit and talking to those 98% of people that aren't in our regional and rural areas and communicating our message, whether it be through social media, whether it simply be conversations at sporting events or dinner events, or your long lost cousins or family members in the city. That's what we need you to talk about, because that is the authenticity of the true story of what we do in agriculture. Well, look, obviously the most part of northern Australia, or I should say if you're not in the very south, you're very appreciative of the rainfall that's fallen over the past several months and has continued in the north this week. But the general outlook is very, very positive. If you look at the smiling faces here in Rockhampton, it's very good times here in the cattle industry. Well, ultimately the biggest challenge I see in the longer term is how we take more responsibility in communicating the messages around sustainability and efficiency that we do as an industry. We take it for granted. We're actually very good at talking to ourselves. We're not very good at talking to the 98% of people out there that don't produce agricultural products or live in regional Australia. And we need to get better at that and sort of check our humbleness at the door and be loud and proud about what we do, because that is the epitome of our social license. Well, events like this are inspirational. You know, whether you're looking at new technology, whether you're building your networks, whether you're expanding relationships, you're just impressed by the thousands of opportunities here that are the trade stores on display. You know, there's an incredible content around the beef cattle industry and agriculture more generally that's available here in Rockhampton. And this is why it's become Beef Australia, not just Beef Rockhampton, because there are literally people here from all states and territories, and that is an incredibly uniting thing to get people involved in the same industry in one location, and the enthusiasm is infectious. The first thing I'd say is carbon is not the enemy of agriculture. Carbon and agriculture are intimately linked. In fact, carbon and the cyclical nature of carbon is critical to agriculture and critical to food production. What's grossly misunderstood is we grow plants through the conversion of carbon dioxide. It's an incredible natural process called photosynthesis. And that's literally how we create these great landscapes that produce grass and vegetation that can't support human life. And we have animals, whether they be cattle or sheep, that go and graze that land to create the incredible red meat proteins. And those animals then expel what they eat, and in some cases in the form of methane, which then disperses back into carbon dioxide within 12 years. Now that very simple cycle that underpins global food production from animal proteins and all of the crops that we grow is the single most misunderstood fact in agriculture about this whole climate and carbon debate. Well, first of all, let's just start dealing with the science and the facts. There's well-funded campaigns that come from a base of really wanting to stop agriculture and stop production. Now, those people are against regional Australia, and really they're against supporting the global population that we have, because without agriculture and without livestock agriculture, we can't support the 8 or 9 billion people that are around this globe. We learned here this morning that Australia is one of 5 countries in the world that fundamentally underpins global food production and prevents starvation. Now that's something that we shouldn't be apologising about. It's something that we should be very proud about, and governments of all afflictions should be supportive of that. But we have to do a better job of communicating and engaging around these things and not simply dismissing them and thinking that they're going to go away. Look, the absolute integrity that comes from producing food, whether you're producing food for the domestic consumer or the global consumer, is one of the most privileged roles you get to do in life. You are responsible for the maintenance and improvement of the landscape. You are the ambassadors of what is this industry. Don't be humble and shy, be loud and proud. And this goes against everything that people from rural and regional Australia, where my family grew up, where I come from, where they still are today. It's about being humble. Well, the fact is we live in a world that being humble doesn't often get the right message across. We've got to get used to talking to people that are probably the least comfortable for us to talk to. But if we don't communicate our message, nobody will. And you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to be scared from. Get out there and talk to people.